Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to today's video. First off, we're going to talk about our favorite cruising friend, somebody we just love to see make an appearance on board cruise ships, and that is Norovirus, because it's once again made it back into the news. We have P&O Cruises Arcadia currently doing a 30-day round trip USA, Canada, back to Southampton cruise. And currently they are reporting they have 87 cases amongst the passengers, 11 cases amongst the crew, a total of 98 cases of norovirus out of 2,758 people on board the ship. So it's not a big number. Now, in this case, it's 3.5% of the people, but anything over 3% has to be reported. And of course, when it's reported, it becomes the news, and they start to use words like outbreak and pandemic and all kinds of other words to go along with a little norovirus, a little stomach flu. And this is something that is going to pop up on cruise ships from time to time. It's unfortunately a part of cruising. The best way to combat norovirus, keep it at bay, stop it from spreading around the cruise ship, is to wash your hands. That's what they say the best defense is. But look, people are going to people, and some people, no matter how many times you tell them, they're not going to wash their hands. We've all seen it. They go right past hand washing stations, right into the buffets. You see them come out of the bathroom. They haven't washed their hands. And the truth is until people change the way they do things, norovirus, it's going to pop up every once in a while. Next up, we have a cancellation from Royal Caribbean because they have canceled the September 28th sailing on board Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas for what they're calling unplanned maintenance. Now, Royal Caribbean has not specified what the unplanned maintenance is. They haven't specified what the issue is. However, the current sailing of Icon of the Seas was scheduled to go to St. Thomas. They had to skip that port altogether. They are sailing at a slower speed, which could indicate a propulsion issue, a power issue, something going on down in the engine room. But again, Royal Caribbean has not said what happened. They haven't said what the problem is, just that they are canceling the September 28th sailing so that they can remain dockside in Miami and spend that time repairing the ship and getting it ready to go for the follow-on sailing. Now, Royal Caribbean, of course, is compensating passengers. Those that are currently on the cruise, they are getting a one-day cruise refund put on their sign and sail account for their onboard account. Those on the September 28th sailing will receive a 100% refund and a 100% future cruise credit. Hopefully this is just a one-time issue, something that needs to be fixed, because the Icon of the Seas, she has not been sailing very long at all. And finally, we got a storm brewing in the Western Caribbean, and it is and has already begun to affect cruising. Now, currently called Potential Cyclone Number 9, but is expected to become a Category 3 hurricane, Hurricane Helene. Now, Hurricane Helene is expected to make landfall probably this Thursday and is currently projected to impact into Florida. This means, like I said, we already have some cruise changes, we already have some itinerary changes, and we definitely need to keep an eye on itineraries going on for the remainder of this week. Keep an eye on some ports, particularly cruise ports in Florida, because anytime that you have a hurricane coming through, there is the potential that ports can close, resulting in further itinerary changes. Now, the MSC Seascape was supposed to be sailing a Western Caribbean cruise. They just erred on the side of caution even before it became an issue, changed it from a Western Caribbean cruise to a Eastern Caribbean cruise. Cozumel was closed yesterday. That resulted in the Carnival Valor having to skip their port stop and get an extra sea day. Carnival Paradise, scheduled to dock in Cozumel today, had her itinerary changed and instead will be docking in Costa Maya further south. Now, Royal Caribbean's Wonder of the Seas, she is going to be changing from a Western Caribbean itinerary to an Eastern Caribbean itinerary. Serenade of the Seas will go from a Western Caribbean to a Bahamas itinerary. Mariner of the Seas will skip Cozumel, getting an extra sea day. And finally, Independence of the Seas, also skipping her port stop in Cozumel, and will instead stay in the Bahamas area. Now, depending on what else the storm does, if it changes path, changes direction. We could still have future itinerary changes, other itinerary changes that have not been reported yet. Now, the one I think we got to keep an eye on is going to be the port of Tampa. The storm is going to be going right by there, even possibly over that area, which could definitely result in a port closure and can affect any cruises or other shipping going in and out of the port. So we'll have to keep an eye on that here over the next couple of days, see if any reporting comes out of Tampa. And these itinerary changes, look, they're just the joy that comes with booking a cruise during hurricane season. Yep, you can sometimes get better rates. Those better rates do always come with the possibility that you could have a hurricane in your area. You could have weather, you could have rough seas, you can have itinerary changes, just like the folks on these ships are gonna have. Part of the cruising experience, just part of the cruising community. And look, you book during hurricane season, you may end up with a whole different cruise than you originally planned for. All right, and that is gonna be our video for today. If you've enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It is free to do so. Helps our channel grow. Let you know anytime we put out a new video. Hope everyone out there is having a really great day, and like always, we will see you out on the high seas.